Hello, this is Ulrika.
Hello, this is Giorgio.
Today we want to speak about our most beautiful experience that we had with horses. I know that Giorgio has traveled the world and has seen horses in many, many places. What was
Yeah,
your best, most touching experience, Giorgio?
but I saw many places and many horses and many humans. That's true. Because of what really fascinated me, it is how and why this animal works, because it's still working with the human. Because is with us since a while now, and I travel around the world to meet horses, it's true, but also human people that work with them, ride them. eh. And I just can tell you one of these story. And one of my favorite stories was on 2014. I was in Oman. I did a race in the desert. It was 5 days. It was 115 riders from each part of the world. And it was like a Paris-Dakar, but regularity. So many control about the heartbeat and etc. Because they stop you if the horse it was too much tired. And for me, it was an amazing experience because for me, ride a pure Arabian horse in the desert. So the place of this animal, it was something really magical, really something really special to be with this animal that his form, they are for the desert. His thin skin, his hair, everything it seemed perfect to live in the desert. And I spent 5 days with this female Arabian horse, and 8 hours per day, 8 hours per day. And the connection with this animal was so deep because it was impossible with her walk. It was impossible. In 5 days, I think we walked about an half an hour. It was always in the trot and gallop. The first day it was terrible. It was terrible. It was very, very painful everywhere. Tension on me and etc. But then the second day, the third day, I started to be more in the flow, just to follow this horse and not to be tender anymore, just to have a confidence because she was a very, very kind. Also, she moved a lot. She was very, very kind with me. And I remember one thing uh, that they say, you will be a good rider thanks to your horse. And she was a very an example for this. That it was very, very important for me also to recognize on me this connection with this animal.
Hmm. That's a beautiful story about connection. And about an intense experience.
Mm.
Mm.
And you, which was your preferred experience? I can imagine that you so many horses and your experience in your life. Which one do you want to share with me today?
The one that comes to my mind first is an experience I had this September in southern France with a young gelding who had lived in the wild most of his life. He didn't have contact with humans. He lived there with his brother on a pasture. And because the owner didn't want to or couldn't keep him anymore, he wanted to bring him to the butcher. He was looking for someone to take on the horse, but there was nobody. But finally, my friend Andreas, where I do my workshops in the Pyrenees Mountains, took on this horse. And his name was Pichu. He was a very nice brown color, not too tall, more a cold-blooded horse. And I met him when we went to the pasture to spend some time with the horses. And he came walking up to me. And he stood by my side. And what happened then, you have to understand a story behind it. And the story behind it is that I have had a horse for 13 years, an Arabian horse. That was my big teacher that taught me everything of what I do today. But she died in a tragic accident last summer. And when I lost this horse, I was in so much grief that I lost my ability to connect with horses altogether. I just couldn't. It was very hard for me because this was my work and I was always meeting horses, but could not find the same love for the horses because my heart had somehow closed down. I was already thinking of if I could really continue with this work, if I could not feel the horses or feel the love for the horses that I've had anymore. And when this horse came, he stood at my side and he stood there. He was very still and he was very focused on me. It was not me who needed to seek him or to seek connection with him, but he came and he gave me love. It was so pure. It was just pure love that he gave me. And it was the same feeling that I had always had with my Arabian mare, my big teacher. It was the same feeling, and I couldn't believe that this would be possible, that there could be another horse where I could have the same feeling, where I could feel the same. And this really changed everything for me. Because it told me that I can find again the love for horses, and that I can find a horse where I can feel the same depth and the same, I don't know, there's no words for it. But he showed me. Yeah, he showed me. It was very beautiful. I think of him many times. He gave me much. Yeah, it's my story.
So thank you very much. And see you soon. Bye-bye.